Today we're going to be looking at and finding out what spatial audio is. Now, spatial audio, I personally first heard about it with Apple and iPhones and iPads and them rolling it out. I was listening to Apple Music, as I typically do, and in there I was looking at lists and it says with spatial audio, and I'm like, oh, that's strange. So I was listening to it, and some of it, in terms of bass, I don't hear as much bass in some of the music with spatial audio. Maybe that's just me. Let me know too what you think in terms of bass. I'm just curious, again, maybe it's just me in terms of spatial audio, and does it sound different with the bass feature? Now, backing up, what is spatial audio? Well, spatial audio in terms of 3D, it is a 360 degree or 3D audio effect. So 3D audio effects are a group of sound effects that manipulate the sound produced by stereo speakers, surround sound speakers, speaker arrays, or headphones. This frequently involves the virtual placement of sound sources anywhere in three-dimensional space, including behind, above, or below the listener. And this is sourced from Wikipedia when I searched on Google. So what that means is, say that you have your headphones in and you're watching a movie on your iPad or iPhone, and it's in spatial audio, right? That 360 degree. That means when I hear on my left side someone walking in to the movie, and if I turn my head this way to the left, I'll actually hear it in both ears now instead of that one left. So that 360 comes to mind, where that 3D, I guess that almost 4D, maybe not. But if you heard something on the right and you look to the right, you're gonna hear it now with both ears instead of just the right ear. So that's what spatial audio is. It's that surround sound feature. Now, do you have to have anything special on your current iPad, iPhone to have spatial audio? The answer is yes, you do. It's called Dolby Atmos. So in terms of Dolby Atmos, when you go into the settings of your phone and go into music, you'll see Dolby Atmos. Now, if your phone doesn't have that, then you don't have that feature on your current phone. The iPhone 13 does have it. As far as the 12, 11, I don't know. But if you have one of those iPhones, let me know in the comments if you do have that Dolby Atmos feature. Now, spatial audio support on the Android side seems to be more limited. So we talk about Apple a lot, spatial audio. It is available on Android. Although the feature works with any headphones, just like on iPhone, so that answers that question. Does it only work with certain headphones? Apple notes that your phone itself needs to support Dolby Atmos to enable spatial audio, but now both are available on the regular Apple Music app for Android. So yes, if you do have an Android, and maybe your wireless company gives you a certain amount of time with a free Apple account, or maybe you went from Apple to Android and you want to bring your music over, there is an app for Android, an Apple Music app. So if your Android supports spatial audio, then yes, you can turn that Dolby Atmos feature on your Android as well. Now, Apple's spatial audio is a 360 degree sound format that recreates a surround effect through even a tiny pair of earbuds. It's mostly been used to enhance video playback with the Airpod Pro and Airpod Max, but a new stripped back form of spatial audio is rolling out across Apple Music as well. So, do you need the AirPod Pro or the AirPod Max to hear spatial audio? You don't. You just need a phone that supports that Dolby Atmos and then be listening, because when you're going through Apple Music, it may not be a spatial audio version. So look for that as well when you're looking at your playlists and your music. So you don't need a pair of Apple or Beats headphones in order to listen to Dolby Atmos from an iPhone or an iPad. Any headphones will work. And this is also from Google, and I'll also sort Tom's site, tomsguide.com as well. As long as you enable a specific setting, you can also listen to spatial audio with Dolby Atmos tracks through the built-in speakers of your iPhone or iPad. So that answers that. You don't necessarily need a certain set of headphones. You do need to have the Dolby Atmos feature, whether Apple or Android. The AirPod 3, so I personally have the AirPod 1, I believe, with the wireless charging. So I have Dolby Atmos set on, right, in my phone. And even though these particular ones don't have the spatial audio, from what I understand, I'll hear a stripped back version, but I'll still get that feature. So the AirPod 3, the newer version of this, when I asked a coworker, hey, what's the difference between the 1 and the 3 that you've noticed? And he said, well, it just feels like you're more immersed in it. And he's like, I think it's because of the spatial audio that they use. So there is a degree of hearing it better in headphones that have a more enhanced version to hear that spatial audio. But will I still hear it in my AirPod 1 originals? Yes, I will. So any headphones, whether it's Beats or AirPods or any Bluetooth, you would still hear that feature as long as you have the Dolby Atmos turned on in your phone. Let me know what you think about spatial audio. Have you, and we know music, but more towards movies and action, have you been watching something on your iPad or iPhone and you had spatial audio turned on, and did it sound any different to you? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think of it. And where do you think it's going to go from here in terms of audio enhancing? As we know, we watch a lot of things on our phones. When people are putting out products and things, you have to make it viewable and accessible on a phone as well, because that's where most people go to look at things. So is this something that maybe Apple is onto, or is it just a fad and a trend that maybe won't catch on? What do you think? And as always, like, subscribe, and make it a great day.